Hi guys, we are back for another video, and you guys already know what to do. If you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It'll help me get seen in the algorithm. I'm uploading 5 videos a week. That's one every weekday, and I'm doing it with the motivational or inspirational concept in mind. I cover everything from movies to sports, TVs, anime, you name it. I try to find the inspirational, motivational aspect of it, and I try to deliver it in a way that's palatable for you guys. So if that's something you would like, please go ahead, subscribe to this channel, follow me. I'll do my best to stay consistent. Now, with that out of the way, I wanted to tell a story. It's story time. Maybe last week, I think it was, I was helping a friend with a property he's recently purchased. He's doing some work on it, and he was working on getting a bid for windows. Now, he's gotten several different offers from different people, and he had gotten down to what was going to be the last offer before he had to make a decision from a guy who came in, and the guy was, in my opinion, just a little bit pushy, but the guy was trying to make a sale, so I understood. And so the guy had made an offer, and my friend was strongly considering this offer, even though in his mind he had another offer that he wanted to maybe go with. And so as he was considering this offer, he looked at me and he asked me what I thought. And so I asked him a very simple question. I said, you have to ask yourself a question. I said, what's the most important thing for you? Because the guy from earlier, maybe he had a slightly lower price point. Maybe he was local. He was, this was his own business. He would be doing the work. Maybe he could get you some of the windows in a color that you preferred versus others wouldn't be. And maybe you'd have to wait a little bit longer because windows, there's a shortage, they're backed up. So you'd get them when you could. But you like this guy, you like the person. But then you have this guy and he's guaranteeing you that he'll be done by a certain date, which you like. His price point is a little bit higher, and he may be able to get all of the windows, not necessarily in the color you want, but he can get them capped in a way that could still deliver the same effect of getting them in the color you want. And while maybe his company isn't necessarily local, he's local, and you can still communicate with him if you need to. And so I asked him, I said, of all these things, all of these factors, what do you feel like is most important for you to feel like you won? Now, I'm not going to tell you what he chose because, frankly, I don't know what he officially decided to go with. I know what decision he made that day, but I don't know what decision he decided to make down the line because he had 3 more days to make a final decision. But the reason I tell this story is because whenever you're making decisions in life, and especially when you're trying to go and be successful, I feel like the most important thing for you to do is to identify what's going to be the win for you. What is the priority for you? Because if you don't recognize what the priority is for you, you will just go about making decisions and living life, reaching different milestones, growing to new heights, making great amounts of money, but it'll never be enough. No matter how good you get, how big you get, it'll never be enough. It's like when you're trying to get in shape. If you've ever noticed people who, work out a lot, people who are always in the gym, always lifting weights, you notice that no matter how in shape they get, no matter how good they look, no matter how trapezius their muscles may look, word to Boondocks, no matter how in shape they get, they always want to get more in shape. And the reason I think that this is the case is because a lot of times they start their training, they start their working out, but there's never actually like a win in mind. There's never actually a goal in mind. There's never actually a final product. Like, and even if there is a final product when they first start, a lot of times they lose sight of the final product because they never look exactly how they want it to look. I think about somebody like Tyreke Evans. You know, the 2009, I believe it is, draft class has a lot of big names. And if you really wanted to make an argument, I feel like that draft class could be in the argument of 2003, 1996, maybe even 1984. When you start talking about the greatest draft classes of all time, I feel like you could make an argument for 2009. You're talking about players like Steph Curry and James Harden, DeMar DeRozan, Blake Griffin. I forgot the number 1 draft pick. Blake Griffin, Drew Holiday. Like, there are some really good NBA all-star, superstar, and even MVP, all-time great level talents in that draft class. But when you look at the rookie of the year from that draft class, it wasn't any of those names I just mentioned. In fact, the conversation of who would be the rookie of the year was none of those players. The conversation came down to 2 players, Brandon Jennings and Tyreke Evans. Now, Tyreke Evans would eventually win the rookie of the year. And I remember some years back after, maybe 3 or 4 years after, that 2009, 2010 season when he won the rookie of the year, I remember I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and I just had expressed a little bit of disappointment that Tyreke Evans hadn't grown. Like, I felt like, he got off to a great start, rookie of the year, a great talent. At that time, I think he was playing point guard. His rookie season, he was 6'6", and he was playing point guard, and he was extremely good at it, had a good ball handle, got other players involved. He was a really good player, and I just knew he was going to be a superstar in the league. But here we are 3-4 years down the line, and he's basically the exact same player he was his rookie year, and he's not any better. And I expressed this, disappointment, and my friend, he looks at me and he's like, what are you talking about? And I was like, what do you mean? I'm saying he should be better than he is right now. He's like, bro, think about this. Tyreke Evans grew up a poor kid in a poor community. And this guy is a big name in high school. His family is probably viewing him as their meal ticket. This guy's dream his entire life has probably been, I just need to make it to the NBA so I can take care of my people. And guess what? Tyreke Evans did that. He made it to the NBA. He got his win. His win was to get to the league and get his people out of the poverty-stricken condition they had been living in his entire life, even before he was alive. He won. So once he got to the league, why does he need to work to get better? He's rich. He got the thing that was his priority. So how can you be disappointed in somebody who reached the goal that they set for themselves? Like, it would be different if Tyreke Evans' goal was be the best player to play to play in the world. If that was his goal, to be honest, making the NBA would have been a foregone conclusion. Like, he would have worked so hard that making it to the NBA would have been a foregone conclusion. But because just making it to the NBA was his win, he did just enough to make it to the NBA and be an NBA player and get his family into a better situation. He knew his win from the beginning, and that is what he strived for. And if you're going to be successful in life, and if you're going to be able to make the right decisions, if you're going to pick the right bid for your windows, you have to first identify what is going to be your win. What is the priority you need to have? What is the goal you're shooting for? Like what is it that you're trying to be? Because once you know that, you can begin to make the best decisions about how you're going to develop yourself, the type of training you're going to go after, the amount of work you need to put in. You're going to be able to make all the best decisions about those things based on who it is that you're trying to be. And you're going to know when you've made it. So the question is, how do you identify your win? How do you determine what your priority is going to be? And I think I have a good way for you guys to identify it. So I want you, if you have a piece of paper in front of you, if not, maybe even pause the video and go grab a piece of paper and pen. But I want you to answer some questions real quick on a piece of paper. So the first question is this: what are just some things that you really deeply want to do before you die? This could include things like get married, have a child, have a son. Like, some people are very specific. They want to have a son or they want to have a daughter. This could include make 100 figures a year at some point, make 6 figures a year at some point, be a millionaire, travel the world, travel to at least so many countries. I don't know, get certain degrees. Like, there's like, whatever it is, just what are some things that you really want to accomplish before you die? And then after you've answered that question, however long your list is, I want you to now examine that list, and I want you to filter from that list the things that if you did not do, you would feel like you had failed in life. So I want you to look at the list of whatever you have from the first question and look at those things and determine which of those things that if you didn't accomplish, if you didn't do before you died, you would feel like you were a failure. And I want you to write those down. And once you get those things, once you get that list, it'd be nice if there was only like one left, but let's just say there's more than one left. I want you to now look at that list of things, those few options, and I want you to determine of those things, which one, if you only accomplished that one, would you feel satisfied? Would you feel accomplished? Would you feel as if you had done enough to have lived a fulfilled life? Which one of those things could you look at and say, I've done enough? If you only did that one thing. And I really think this is going to be different for everybody. So I want you to, that's why I'm asking you to write it down. Write it down for you. And whatever that thing that you come up with it is, that is your win. And that should be your priority. That should be the thing that you're filtering all of your striving through. Like, so that when you go to work every morning, you're not just going to work because to make money, because your win you identified wasn't the money. You identified your win was to be able to retire at a certain age so that you could travel the world with your wife. And since that's your win, everything you're doing, you're filtering it through, is it getting me to that win? If should I take off this week? Well, if I take off this week, is it going to get me to that win, or is it going to hurt me? If not, maybe I shouldn't do it. Like, I'm just saying, you learn to filter things through what is the most important thing for you. That's my video, guys. As always, if you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. I drop 5 videos a week. That's one every weekday. I do motivational, inspirational content with a pop culture twist. I cover everything from sports to movies, TV shows, anime, cartoons, comic book characters, you name it. I try to cover it all. I try to find the motivational, inspirational aspects of it and deliver it to you in a way that's palatable. Guys, I appreciate you so much. If you know someone who could benefit from my content, from my message, please send them my way. Please share my content with them. Until next time, peace.